So you're saying you care more about money than a relationship?
I don't give a if she was a homie. But if she stole my money,
Oh, it's a street nigga and nah.
yeah, that affects my life.
This lady here in the red is devious. She's gonna have some wild takes.
Men and women cannot just be friends. 3, 2, 1.
Cannot just be friends.
He's still deciding, but I'll go ahead. There's always this underlying current to a man and a woman when they're just friends, because there's this sexual attraction, this energy that you can't even see.
What's she doing with her hands?
Just friends, because there's this sexual attraction, this energy that you can't even see it. It's always flowing. And men, as you know, you guys are conquerors. You want a conquest. You want to, even if it's a friend, sometimes that develops into more simply because law of familiarity, you start getting close and comfortable, and maybe you weren't attracted to her initially, but that opposition of that sexual polarity always kicks in.
What if the man is like not attracted to women? Just like generally, do you think that's still?
You mean if they take a different
Like a gay man and
sexual orientation?
And a woman being friends.
Well, I think that's different, perhaps because they're attracted to men. So in that moment, they have taken on the feminine energy.
So they only want to conquer the men, not the women.
Well, in that, there's always masculine and feminine energy, whether you're a man or woman. So if the man is gay and identifies as being attracted to men, then he's in the feminine energy, mostly. Now, if there's two of them, there's one that's more
Ooh, okay. She throwing jabs. Look at the side
attracted
eye.
to men, then he's in the feminine energy, mostly. Now, if there's two of them, there's one that's more masculine and more feminine, but that's for another.
Two of my best friends are women. We have great times together all the time. Not once have I considered sleeping with them or anything like that.
Ever?
No. But that's the thing.
Nigga, you on the wrong
Darkest
side.
hour, in your
Nigga, you on the wrong side. Why the
Darkest
hell
hour,
you
come
just do
on.
that?
No. Because we started off as friends, and this is like I said, I was never attracted to them.
A lot of relationships start like that today, even though I discourage it. They say, I'm not attracted to them, but it'll grow. And I'm always like, it can happen.
It can, but
But the odds of it, so I agree with you on that as
yeah,
well.
that's why I'm like, I do
Slim to
understand
none.
and I get it, but two of my best friends are women, and not once. Everyone keeps saying like, oh, you're gonna do, and I'm like, it's not, because
You never know. Life is a long time.
Are your friends attractive?
Yes.
Like they look good.
But attractive is subjective.
But like
depend
just like generally speaking, like your girls like look good, right?
Yes.
Okay, so if you was just lonely, like it's been a moment, you didn't want to beat it, you know what I mean? Or like, you know.
There's a special exemption. I'm non-monogamous, so I never have to worry about intimacy.
Well, that's why.
Wait, so you getting played. So you ain't worried about you, man.
He's like getting it, so he doesn't need it. But
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But if you was lonely and you wasn't getting it though, and your friend was throwing it
I
at
guess
you,
that's
a different situation. That's what I'm saying. I know I'm
bro,
an
you belong
outlier.
over here though.
Come to the dark side.
If he's not attracted, if we're not attracted,
Yeah,
it's
I'm
just
like,
friends.
it's just friends. Yeah.
As a straight, very monogamous man, I grew up mainly being friends with women. I felt more comfortable in those spaces. I felt more comfortable talking to women. I've never been like a bro, rah, 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 that type of thing. So I think men and women absolutely can be. I have friends that I've had since elementary school, middle school. We talk very often and we talk about all these things, and it has never affected that aspect of the relationship because we're men and women. We're just people, and people can be friends. It's not.
Completely agree.
Yeah.
So my perspective is from kind of a Christian worldview. I believe that God created man and woman to come together in love and attraction, to be one. And so from that standpoint, I believe that there is just a natural attraction. I have had some extremely close friends that were girls, and that attraction just developed because it wasn't just physical, but it was love. It was getting to see how they were around their family, around kids, what they do for work, what they do for school, developing that relationship. So from my perspective, that attraction develops because I wasn't just looking at her from just, she's just a body. Yeah, she's just a piece of meat. You develop that emotional attraction, that emotional
Which
relationship.
is why I'm over here. Yes, joining this dark
Can you not?
side.
I would ask.
Because I completely agree with you on that. From
Can
the
you
same
love-
Christian
Yes.
standpoint, 100%.
Wait, hold up. Have you been sleeping all right? I haven't, which is why I'm so glad that I found Nero. If you haven't heard of Nero, they're known for their energy and focused functional gum and mints that give you a balance.
I would date someone I do not find physically attractive.
And now,
3, 2, 1.
Ah, man. But you want to say something first?
Strongly agree. I would date someone. No, I would not date someone I don't find physically attractive. No. What the fuck? Well, no. No.
I do it all the time because there's a lot you don't, just from the physicalness, it's like sometimes there's some people that I learned just by not going in based off physical attractionness, I end up being attracted to them just because of their personality. And, you know, looks can be deceiving. I could say the same on the opposite end where I thought someone was absolutely attractive, but then I got to know them and they were the worst person I could have possibly been on a date with.
That is
Like,
valid.
you can definitely not be attracted to somebody initially, and then as you get to
Yeah.
know them. But I
Yeah,
feel like at that point, like once I like someone's personality romantically, I probably
They're
also
automatic.
think they're attractive.
I would say that for some, you know, it's not a reflection on your character. How weighted appearance versus personality might be, it differs from person to person. I think that we have our preferences, and I think that a certain element of physical attractiveness is fitness, health, hygiene, and that reflects on usually
I just have to say, she came to serve, my nigga. Bedazzled,
confidence,
top,
responsibility, and
the
dedication.
rubies,
I
the
do
red
see it as
hair,
important, although
nails,
not the
tats
full
out.
package
She
by
came
any
to serve.
means.
Right.
It's the very first impression you get of most people.
Yes.
Because, like, you meet someone and you can't hear their voice first thing most of the time, you just see them. And you're like, oh, that person's attractive. Or like, I don't see myself with that person because I don't find them attractive. And that's totally fine. Not everybody's attracted to everybody. But me personally, I would not be with someone I don't find attractive.
So,
Great.
so I gotta give context here, right? If I'm meeting you in person and you don't look good, then I'm over there with y'all. But if I'm meeting you through a dating app and I get catfished, but you're kind of cool, right? then, cause I met a girl that had nice pictures. But then when I seen her in person, she was a little bit bigger than I prefer, right? And there's nothing wrong with that,
Well,
right?
everyone can have nice pictures today.
Now, there's nothing wrong with being a bit bigger, but for preference sake, I wasn't really feeling it. But her personality is what got me. And then I started entertaining it. So, right, even though I got catfished, I actually considered, you know, taking her seriously.
And I also date, like, sometimes I really try this because it's led to some great people I've got to meet along the way. I will date outside of my preferences just to see what that's like.
If you're not initially attracted to that person and have a strong sexual attraction, then it's not going to work because we know that relationships get worse, not better. That's like, I don't know, I think it's a recipe for a disaster.
Cheating is the worst thing my partner could do to me.
No. No. They could kill me. They could ruin my life and sentence me to jail. They could hang me in a basement and torture me in my life.
3, 2, 1.
In GTA.
You want to have a relaxation contest?
you read my mind.
Y'all, come on, y'all.
I feel like there's like probably worse things like in theory that a partner could do to their partner, but just because that's such an important aspect for me and like I feel like my partners in the past have like been very aware that was like something that I actively would not do. I feel like that would just make that adds like an extra element of evil.
Yeah,
to it.
I mean, my mind goes to marriage. I mean, you know, when you marry this woman, when I marry a woman someday, you promise literally everything you have to be with her, literally thick and thin, to be with her through everything, through highs and lows. And I mean, if you do something like cheating, it's basically like, screw this love, this wasn't real. These promises that I made between us and God mean nothing. I think for a lot of Christians, that's like a big thing, is cheating. I mean,
100%. And it's one of the 10 Commandments too. It's like, do not commit adultery.
Yeah.
So that is definitely the worst thing, because getting married is a promise between you and that person and God.
I mean, technically there's worse things, like they could kill you, which would probably be the worst thing, because then like you're not even in the picture.
You belong over here.
So I'm kind of like, but I would say that would like destroy me, and I would never even think about something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I 100% agree. I was actually cheated on a few, like 4 or 5 months ago. I struggled with self-esteem so much growing up, and that was the worst thing that could have happened. That destroyed any chance I had at self-love at that time, and it was just devastating for me. Like, it really was
That's
just
valid.
devastating, because it didn't just
Poor
destroy
thing.
that relationship, it destroyed my entire image of myself that
I
I
wanna
had
give
built
him a
up
hug, man.
based on
That's
other
fucked
people's
up.
validation, and I had to rip it down to the studs and just fully start over. Yeah, so that's why I'm over here. Strongly agree. For me personally, it was the worst thing that could have happened.
Cheating is f***ed up. It's not a good feeling. Is it the worst thing that a partner could do to me? To be honest, I've outgrown that. Bro, I had over $250,000 stolen from me this year, bro. And that put me in a dark ass place. Now imagine, if my partner stole that money from me, or she was just a homie, I'd be more mad about the money, you feel me, right?
I don't have that money to be stolen.
You know what I mean?
So you're saying you care more about money than a relationship?
But because at the end of the day, me and my ex, we ain't together no more, so I don't give a f if she was a homie. If she was, right? But if she stole my money, yeah, that'll fix my life. You know what I mean, right? So my whole thing is, when we talking about the prom, is cheating the worst thing that a partner could do for me? I've been cheated on before. The first time I was cheated on, bro, I was petty. I was in high school, bro. I drove all the way to the crib and told her mom what she was doing with me. You know what I mean, right? Yeah, I was vengeful. But now I just be like, so many people do it. There's worse things that they have. Like, if you kill my mom, I'd be more mad rather than you f***ing a homie.
The sanctity of marriage is
Right.
supposed to be till death do us part.
Right.
That doesn't mean if your carnal flesh gave in and you had, an indiscretion that you're able to hit the door running. No, that means there's work to be done. We have problems. For me, I think it actually can be the best thing, because it's a sign that there is a huge problem in the relationship that needs fixed. Most sex is not emotional. So it's just a bodily act that animals do, and you're going to blow up a marriage or
Okay,
a
she be talking, but then sometimes she just don't be
a
talking.
relationship with children over sex. To me, I think that is ridiculous.
But
and
sex-
shows-
You could say that about the person doing the cheating too.
I've been cheated on, so I have been cheated on.
Well, so you think that's something you could you have gotten over it?
I have gotten over it. If my husband cheats on me, of course I'd be devastated. I'm human, I bleed just like all y'all too, but I'd be like, damn, like, what's the problem here? What's the issue?
See, but that's-
and can we
Why don't
solve
you just,
this?
Why don't you just talk? Like,
Well,
if you guys are
yeah.
married and you have that emotional
I feel like there's
We know
there's
that
things
that
before
doesn't
that.
happen though. We know that people don't.
I think we should work to changing that.
We should,
Instead
but
of
that doesn't mean
accepting-
I'm going to unconditionally love you just because you went and had an indiscretion. I wouldn't do that to my son. My son F's up all the time and does crazy shit. I'm like, where on God's green earth did you learn that? That doesn't mean I stop loving him.
For men, I feel like we take cheating a lot more personally
We
as
do.
opposed to women. It
I
comes
think
with to the ego.
People's boundaries are all different. So if you have perhaps been with no or less partners and then you get married, to learn that that person cheated would be proportionally much more devastating to someone who's had maybe a lot of relationship experience, and therefore that's more of an active part in their life. So I think that everyone's boundaries are different. So for some people, I have seen them get over it. I know for me personally, I would say that I'm a woman that would take that devastatingly seriously and would not look lightly at it. So it depends on the person's boundaries.
If you had children and if you had a family involved, you would break up your family over a man's one-time indiscretion.
Yes.
That would adversely affect your child and possibly send her to the stripper pole.
I don't feel comfortable answering that question, because I feel like it's making a lot of
That
But this
feels
is
like
what
an escalation
happens.
a
This is
little
But
what
I
happens.
feel like that
We don't
that
want to
just
answer
shows,
those questions, but
that shows
I
an
would say-
example onto the kids, like, oh, this is not that bad of a thing.
Yeah. And I think that somebody cheating on you is more than just a physical thing. Like, that's a break of trust, and I feel like if you can't have that trust in someone, then I also don't want them to be raising my kids with me.
so we're all saying that love is conditional is the end of
Yeah,
Yes,
100% agree with that.
Monogamy is overrated. 3, 2, 1.
Monogamy is overrated. Sorry.
Of course. Come on, man, get over here, get your butt over here. You know you belong here. At least something.
Think about it.
We're like in a second.
Think about it.
We're taught from the Disney, all these fairy tales, it's like you're supposed to be with that one and only, you know? So it's very frightening to break something traditional, but after like a few months with it, I just knew I'm like, this is the right choice. I've been in the most happiest
Overrated
of
is a crazy
relationships.
term.
I just celebrated my 3 years with my primary partner, as well as my 2-year anniversary with my secondary partner. But it's like, you know, I do think that monogamy is kind of overrated. I don't think that there's anything like, you know, wrong with it. If that's what you want to do, go for it. But I do think that non-monogamy and poly relationships should be something that like, it's looked at as an option.
I think nowadays I know more open relationships than I do strictly closed relationships with the people that I know. I would say I disagree that monogamy is overrated, but I do agree that for some people like yourself, poly relationships work better. So I don't look down upon them. I think whatever works for you works for you.
Thank you.
Yes.
But I can still say that for like someone like myself or people that are similarly just very focused and have like strict kind of like, I just can't ever, oh my God, I could never imagine more than like one person.
It's a lot.
It
It takes a
depends on the
lot.
person,
Yeah.
so therefore I don't think monogamy is overrated. I think it depends on the person, and I think for me it's definitely not it's the only option. For you, poly is like the right way, so it just depends. I'm completely non-judgmental. I think it just depends.
I just want to say, I don't mind monogamy, right? I just don't like a controlling relationship where it's completely like, no, you can't f nobody else, but at the same time, you want to f me once or twice a month. You know what I mean? Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, you know, me and my ex was together for 5 years. I actually broke up with her in April, but for 2.5 years out that relationship, we was barely for like maybe once a month.
Yeah.
Then I moved her in the crib, and then when I moved her in the house, for the whole first year of her living in the house, she just didn't want to have sex.
That's
and shit.
right.
Now we had an agreement.
Damn,
that
they're
we had agreed
disgusted.
on where
Oh my God, they are disgusted.
She just didn't want to have sex.
Oh, you, all you value about her is the sex.
The house for the whole first year of her living in the house, she just didn't want to have sex.
That's
and shit.
right.
So
Now,
you
we had
cheated?
an
You wanted to
agreement
cheat?
That we had agreed on where we could
How
do
dare
various
you.
things that we just didn't want to know about and stuff like that, right? And because you wasn't me and like that, I was handling the agreement, like I was following the agreement. But because there were certain things that wasn't
pissed.
necessarily 100% out there, that created complications in the relationship to the point that it
The
ended
look up and down.
I think it's definitely like it has a place, like for certain people. Like obviously we have 2 people who are like very religious here, and it works well for them. And I just think like if I was in an open relationship, I would go crazy. Like even when I'm in like a normal relationship where it's like I don't expect them to cheat on me, I'm still like.
Introducing Georgia Aquarium's expanded resident pass. Pay for 1 day and enjoy
Like it's
Suspect.
yeah. So I just like if I can't imagine a world where I would agree with that. And also before I had like loved someone or like dated anybody, I was like, oh no, I could totally be in an open relationship. And then I actually did, and I was like, oh.
Are you
Never
a very
mind.
sexual person? Just curious though.
Like kind of.
Kind of.
Sure.
She's like, yeah.
So if
Yeah.
your partner was very sexual too, and he's like, baby, like I want to be with you, but you always just shut him down because you ain't in the mood.
I don't. That's like never happened.
Oh,
I don't
well,
think.
okay, but I'm just
like I
saying,
just feel like that's like not. That's like personally for me not an issue. But also,
Alright.
I don't know. I think that would definitely be a conversation if there was like an imbalance. But also, I think there's different things that make people compatible as partners, and that's definitely one of them.
What he's saying is the cry of many men today is that they're not getting enough sex from their partner. And not just sex, it's not like men are like, oh, I'm heartless.
That connection.
But listen, men need sex to create intimacy. Women need intimacy to have sex. And people get married and then fuck around. It's like, just don't get married then. And stay like this boy, dates and anniversaries every
Y'all two are my
month.
people, I
3
swear to
years,
God. Y'all
2
two
years.
are my
See you, bro.
Next month is his 1-year anniversary with partner number 3. Like, just, you know what I mean? Just be out there doing your dates. And does that make sense?
By the end of the day, nobody should dictate your relationship because everyone's gonna try to push what they think works for, you know, this is what's best for you. Like, I'm over it. I'm like, why? So I can be frustrated and pissed off and like, I've tried it. To me, it did not work.
I want to take perspective because, you know, Christian, I'm going to take perspective that's a little away from my biblical views. And no disrespect, but I do think polygamy is just laziness.
Not polygamy.
I think
This is polyamory.
No,
Polygamy is
sorry.
when it's multiple wives, just
Polyamorous.
one person.
I see that as laziness, that you don't want to commit to someone in the hard times. Like you were talking about a little bit about, well, they're not getting fulfilled sexually, so why not find it somewhere else? why not just do the hard work to work on your relationship?
agree
so
with
that you
I
can
was
get
ready
that
for this
pleasure?
question.
And
No,
I mean,
I was ready for
there's such a emotional, there's a psychological
Yeah.
just importance in
That
being
nigga's
with one
horny.
person.
Yeah.
I mean,
Pair bonding.
So then
Yeah.
why do we have such a high divorce rate?
I agree with you on that.
why do we have such a high divorce
Why do
rate?
why are people still cheating? Why is open
Because they're not, because our country, I think, is lazy. We don't want to have these hard conversations of
Okay.
maybe we should go to therapy, maybe we should try to get help because we love one another. It's like, nah,
Or
I
even
can go
to
get
talk
this.
about it, period.
Yeah.
Just to talk about
I-
it, right?
So me and my ex, we actually did couples therapy because again, we was barely for like 2.5 years, bro. We went to couples therapy. Next thing you know, everything was great for like a month, and then one day she just blew up. She said, "Man, I still don't feel like you this and that." But like she went in, bro. You know what I mean? So at the same time, there was a point in my relationship where it really just came to the point like, baby, I love everything else about you. You know what I mean, right? This area sucks. Are you still attracted to me? She said, yes, I'm still attracted to you, right? Well, here's the thing. If you just don't want to have sex with me, right, go some other dudes. I don't give a
Yeah.
Let's have that conversation, right? Because I get everything else I want from you anyways. I was open to the idea. I want to be with my woman, but if you don't want to do this, I'm fine just
Yeah.
Yeah,
being on the same page.
I mean, I understand the importance of sex, but there's self-sacrifice in every relationship you need to make. If you're happy with her and everything she had, but you also have a value on sex, then maybe she's not the right person.
But the thing was, did I want to go look for greener grass, or did I just want to water my own grass? I just stuck it out for 5 years, bro.
That's another aspect of being like romantically compatible with someone, and sometimes there's like one thing that's not there and that sucks. But it's like especially if that other person, that's something that they prioritize. Like personally, if my partner was like, oh, like I love like everything about you, but like this is not compatible, and they wanted to go sleep with other people, like that would make me feel so bad about myself.
And that's why
Like, I
you
would
do
just,
what works
like,
for you.
That's what you do.
Well,
What
I'm
works
just saying
for
like that's like a compatibility issue then I think, because I'm not your ex-girlfriend, I don't know how she feels, but if I were in that scenario, I just like that just would make me so sad, even though it's like it's none of your fault that there's that imbalance.
And the comments gonna talk so much shit about
Yeah, they-
right. Right.
They're gonna be like, he's a
The day
slut,
I
he's
broke up
awful.
with my girl, bro, she told me like I won't say everything. The day I broke with my girl, she said, man, she's like, I just be counting down the days. Like we had sex in like 12 days. I gotta go have sex now. Otherwise, Ashley gonna get mad. You know what I mean, right? And I'm hearing all this and shit, right? You know what I mean? So she said a bunch, and I felt like I had to break up with her, right?
Yeah, no, that's
did not
definitely-
want to. I feel like I had to.
Yeah, that
Maybe
would definitely
that's
take a toll on you.
I think all this goes back to clear communication, because if I don't think that cheating means that polyamory would actually be the solution to that. I think that it goes back to your values and
Yes.
what works for you. And I think that I would maybe venture to say that more people might be poly than are exploring that right now. And still at the same time, monogamy I think works for a lot of people. So it's all what works for you.
I would date someone in this room. 3, 2, 1.
Right? I don't know these people.
Surprised he was over here. I'm like, what are you doing?
I know, I was like, he already said what to do anyway.
The energy is cool.
You just have to have a pulse, and we'll go out with you.
That's not how that is.
Perfect example, right? Like Janelle, she got good energy, right? Now imagine Janelle might be the coolest person. Next thing you know, you start getting to know her, she might be crazy. You'd be like, then you come over here all of a sudden.
Generally, the few people I've been attracted to, they look like Tim Burton dolls, or just like weird goth
Tim Burton
people. Yeah, just like weird goth people. So like, it's just coincidence. It's very rare that I see these people. So it's not a personal thing.
Sir?
My girlfriend would kill me, and
Respect.
I like to think I'm pretty.
You motherfucker. I wanted to give you a hug. And I'm not saying that what you said happened didn't happen, but nigga, you got a girl now? You got me.
So
But am I not your type though?
you got me feeling some type of way now that you say it. I don't know.
So you my good side?
Oh, okay.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, for me,
Bros
beliefs
are
are
so
extremely
cute.
important. I mean, I ain't trying to get all flirty, but you are also very gorgeous. But
Oh, he's trying to do his. I've seen the chemistry all video. He's trying to do his big one. Okay.
I mean, for me, beliefs are extremely important. I mean, I'm trying to get all flirty, but you are also very gorgeous.
Please send us a wedding invitation.
But no, beliefs are very important within relationships. I think I look into, obviously I have a desire to be a husband and one day be a father, and I think if you have difference in beliefs, it's very hard to raise.
Set up the date video after this, bro.
Absolutely.
I think that just is extremely important.
Hi, good job.
Oh.
That was so fun. Thank you. You're so fun. You're so sweet.